hard to know where you're going if I don't tell you where we're going. Okay, Luke, Matt, we are going to have two new words today, domain and range, and we are going to apply that to graphs. And I should have put a page in there. We're going to find the domain and range. The domain is the input. Generally, in terms of what you're looking at, it's the x coordinates, it's the x values. Not always, it could be the time. It's the independent variable. It's usually the x, but it's the horizontal axis. There, now I've got it right. It could be time. Your paycheck depends on the time you put in, not the other way around. Okay? The range, another new word, range, those are the outputs. They are the y values. They are the dependent variables. The range. And they're very important words, domain and range. That is the vertical axis. So we're going to do some graphs, and we're going to find the domain and the range by looking at the pictures. It's good. It's a little bit, it can be challenging. If you get it, it's great, but it's going to be very visual. And then we're going to determine if a graph that we look at is a function or not. And we're going to use this thing called the vertical line test, which you guys all remember. because everybody does, for some reason. That's my next page. Okay, we ready? I'm just waiting. No, that's okay. And then we'll do some problems. Should find it easy. Okay, Zach, are you ready? Okay, do you remember what a function is? For every input, not just there is an output, there's exactly one output, which means there's only one, Matt. Zach? For every input, there is exactly one. Not two, but exactly one. It also means there has to be one. Yes. What do you need? Because you didn't turn it in? I don't know. So what that means is if there has to be an input, if there is an input, you get an answer. Okay, Matt? So if you put a number into your calculator, you will get an answer. You will get only one answer. Then you have a function. The vertical line test is a way to know if there is only one output for your input. So let me give you just a quick little graph here. Stretch your screen. All you have to do is stretch it. Okay, stretch it. Just pinch it. Doesn't work? Oh, well, then put it above. Put it above. Sorry. That I didn't know. Okay, here's a function. And you know it's a function because if I choose one input, you can put it above that. Doesn't matter. If I take one input, there's your input. The inputs are always on the x's. And the outputs are on the y's. This is called your domain. This is called your range. On the graphing calculator, it's called the window. So you have to know domain and range. If I go over here and I want the y value, here there's only one y coordinate at that point there. There's not two. So the vertical line test is if you draw a vertical line, it crosses the graph only in one place. Well, that's good if you've heard of it before, but not everybody has. Yeah, just a little bit. Now, I'm going to extend my page. I'll have to fix that. Here's one that's not a function. It fails because that's why, but let's see what happens. If I take this input, here's a y value, and here's another y value. There can be only one, right? So it fails, this fails the vertical line test. So it's not a function. Well, that's good. I'm glad you remember. Okay, you guys? So, you know, if I put in a -2 here, I might get a 3 here. I might get a -3. I get two answers. I don't want two answers because then I don't know which answer you want. That's the reason why we always want a function.
What if like the thing goes like this, but it's longer over here?
It doesn't matter. Any place that your vertical line will cross your function, or your graph, excuse me, in more than one place, it's not a function. So here's another one. That's not a function. Doesn't work. Doesn't pass the vertical line test. It crosses 1, 2, 3. Only one. Okay, ready to look at some examples?
Yeah.
It's a dollar sign, isn't it? Okay. So there's my graph. First question, let's do the easy question first. Is that a function or not? Does it pass the vertical line test? If I take any, I'm going to draw a vertical line here, and I'm going to drag it across, as I can do that, you can't, but I'm going to drag it across. Does it cross the graph vertically in more than one place? No.
No.
Nope, only one output. Those are the outputs right there. These are the outputs. Okay, so is this a function? Yes. And you would say yes by the vertical line test if I asked you why. Now, so the next easy one, what's f of -2? I want the y coordinate when x is -2, so right here. X is -2, so you start here, you go negative, what's the y? It's 0. It's all that f function does. It tells you what the y coordinate is. Now for the hard part. The domain are the x values. So you look at your graph, and how far to the left does the x go? So I'm going to draw a vertical line here. What's that x value there? -4. And it goes to, and we're going to learn interval notation because you're going to like it better than inequality notation. And if I were to drag that across, what is the maximum x value we get to? 3. Now, honestly, because we're including those, we can include those. It would be a bracket. But I will accept this as well. Because sometimes on the graphs, you don't really know if that point is included. That's interval notation. That just means that we're going to start at x equals -4 and go all the way up to +3. Is x equal to 5? No. Okay? So you have to think on domain horizontally, going across. Okay, ready to do the range? I'm going to take my little line here, and I want the smallest y value this will be. I'm going to drag it up here. Is y equal to -2 on my graph? No. What's the smallest? 0. Excellent. Does include 0. This means including with the bracket, but I'm not going to be picky about it. I'm just telling you that right now. Later on I would be, but not now. And what's the maximum y value we get up to? Does it get up to 4? No, it goes up to 3. So you have to separate those two into the vertical and the horizontal. And I think my little line idea is a way to do it. What's the easiest question? Is it a function, right? That's I always do easy first because then I gain some confidence if I do easy first. Oh, I got that one. And I got this one. Those are a little harder. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know about that. Is this a function? Draw my vertical line because I can do this. Whoa, that's not a very good vertical line, but okay. It crosses the graph only once. You could do a horizontal line test. That tells you something different. Okay, so yes, it is a function. Can you tell me what f of 1 is? X is 1, so I'm going to go over here to 1, and I want the output. What's the output there? 4. I don't think I got my videos up yesterday. Okay, ready to find the domain and range, Matt? What's the smallest x value on this graph? -1, and it goes to how far? What's the maximum? Xavier, do you know? 4. It goes from -1. Does this help? You visualize it? I'm looking this way. So it's -1 to 4. Okay, whoops. The answer key has parentheses. Oh, I don't want to move that one. Ooh. Okay, let's draw another one. Let's do this one to find the range. What is the smallest y coordinate? Emily? What's the smallest y value? And that goes up to what? 4. Think of a window shade if you have to. Two more. Okay, ready? No? Okay. Go ahead, if you're there, go ahead and answer the question before I get there. That's really the way you should do it all the time. Honestly, you should always be ahead of me. If I'm ahead of you, then you need to tell me. Okay. Is that a function, Mackenzie? Is that a yes? Well, you draw a vertical line, and you see, does it cross the graph in only one place? Yes. And you have to check the whole graph, though. There isn't any place in my graph where it crosses twice. So yes, it is a function. Luke, what is the value of f of 3? What's the x coordinate? Yeah. 3. What's the y coordinate that goes with it? Kind of 1. -1. Okay, so if you participate and you do this act, it's a lot easier. Now for the hard part. Let's find the domain and the range. Maybe it's easy for you. I don't know. The domain is I take my line here, and what's the furthest left it goes, Mackenzie? Starts where? Does it go to -5? No, it's -4. So that's -4, and what's the biggest value it's going to go to? Keep moving it all the way till you run out of graph. And where's the next one? 4. Thomas, is that okay? Starts at -4 and goes to 4. It's this. You're looking at the x's. Think of the window shade as going sideways. I can't even imagine that, actually. So that's 4. The range is kind of like a window shade. And I could actually use my window shade. Okay, what's the smallest y value I get to? -4. You see that, Mackenzie? And then it's going to go all the way up to, I got to get to the highest point, 5. Did the window shade help? I was using lines before. I actually think I have a sideways one, but I'm not sure how to do it. So it's -4 to 5. Okay, you guys, try the next one on your own, and I'll check with you. Emily, you got this? Yes. It's a circle. Is it a function? Is it a function? Does it cross the graph in more than one place? Yes, it does. Well, that's the problem. Yeah. No, what is f of 2? You got two answers, don't I? I've got this answer, and I have this answer. The problem is, it's not a function. So when x equals 2, y equals what? Negative 2 and what? 4. Okay, see if you can find the domain and range. They shouldn't use function notation because it's not a function. No, that's the range. Range is the outputs. The domain is the input. Side to side. And I know I have a window shade that goes sideways, but I'm not sure where it is. Yep. And then we're going to answer questions on the other homework. The orange ones, let's do for today. Nicole has your worksheets. Okay, what are the inputs? Ready? Yep. What are the inputs here, you guys? What's the furthest to the left? I know there is a way to do it sideways, but I don't know how to do it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There we go. What's the furthest to the left we go? Zach. What's the furthest to the left we go? Does it go to negative 2? Negative 1. All the way over to? 5. What's the range? You should have done this by now. Yeah, we always go the smallest to the largest. So it's negative 2 to 4. Do you need me to put up the answers to the salmon color worksheet? They are online. Lexi. Thanks. No, I'll just come around. Well, I don't know how we're going to do that because I grade it. So I don't want you to do it on the iPad. That's the reason why I'm giving you the handout. Because I can't grade it. Oh, well, that's good. No. No. Okay. Are there questions on any of these? Okay. Shh. Emily, have a seat, please. Okay. Shh. Salmon worksheet. Get it out. It's on your iPad. The domain are the x's, the sideways, and the range is the verticals. Hey, Luke, do you have questions on any of number 1? I couldn't read that off your worksheet, but this H should be a question, I think. Did you guys get it? Lennon? Okay, how about H? It's 2 times f of negative 1. Does that say plus 4? No, you just say it. I mean, you can do it, but I want your work there because I can't correct it. I'm correcting all your assignments because what's the problem here is some of you aren't correcting your assignments, and you need to know that you're doing it incorrectly. Okay, Xavier? You should not be having that up. You should be looking here. Your iPad, you don't need it. Because I got the answers right here. What'd you get for the answer for H?
I got -2.
Well, let's see if they're right. They may be wrong. What's f of -1? Max? What's f of -1? Okay, I don't know. I'm looking at H because I think it's hard. Maybe it was easy. I'd be great if you thought it was easy. That is 2. That's why I'm doing it, because it is hard to see. You have it on your sheet, your orange sheet. It's 2, okay? Xavier, what are you doing? What are you doing? Schoology? Plus 4. What's f of -5, Xavier? What's f of 5? A negative f of 5. What's f of 5?
4.
It's 4, right? So 4 plus 4 gives you 8. Order of operations divided by -4, so the answer is -2. I'm assuming that was a problem for you, because you're not asking me. Okay, should have your iPads closed. You don't need them unless you have the answers up. Okay, are there any here that gave you a problem? Check your answers. I expect questions. Oh, I know where there's a question. On B, g of -2. This guy. You guys, if you wrote this, -2 squared minus 1, you are wrong. Yeah, but I've seen a lot of you do that. So let's see. If you wrote that, then it's wrong. You need to put it, in parentheses like this, and you need to shut that off. You need to have parentheses here, because what is this -2 squared? It's not +4, it's, okay, Zach, Colin? Yeah, I want to focus on this because I know I've seen it wrong. I don't want you to get it wrong for this reason. So this is, got to have parentheses. And so notice on the answer key, the parentheses are there. So that's 3, and you're going to add 1 to it. You can ask me individual questions, too. Any questions on these? This is just a matter of substitute and evaluate on the last one. They gave you the equation. I thought that was kind. I would have had you write the equation. Because we should be able to write it. Now that's review. This is down here's review. You will see review on these worksheets because there will be a cumulative test. One, I'm not sure. Sure, we can look at that. Which side, front or back? Which problem? Finding the values? Okay, let's look at that. Let me bring it up. This is the green one. So take me a second. A question on this? Which problem? Okay, f of -1. What's the x value here? X equals -1. It's asking you for the ordered pair. It's asking for the y. So when x is -1, what's the y value?
2.
That's it.
That's the answer.
Yeah. Zach, do you understand how to do this problem?
Oh, I get it now.
15, though, might be hard. 15 is hard. You've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't understand.
15 is saying I want the value of the function at the value the function gives me at -4. So what I have to do is do the inside parentheses first. That one. Okay, Emily? We're not doing iPads. We're doing this. Yeah. What's f of -4? Yeah. I need to find that. F of -4 is 4. So I'm going to put 4 in there. And so then I have left f of 4. So you're doing the function twice. So what's f of 4? You go over to the 4, and what's f of 4? 0. That one is tough because we've not seen anything like that one. Yeah. That's the same kind of thing. Okay? So it's f of, I'm going to use colors, g of 3. So guess what I have to find first? Parentheses, we find g of 3. Okay, guys? What's g of 3? Got to go up here and find g of 3. So what's g of 3? You substitute 3 in. It's 9 times 2 plus 3.
45.
That's 45. Okay? That's what number goes in there. Then I have to find f of 45. So you do the inside, find that output. That now becomes the input on the f function. So I want 45. Might need a calculator. F of 45 equals negative 3 times 45 minus 5. Negative 135 minus 5 is negative 140. I did that in my head. You won't know how I did it. I did 3 times 50.
Which one do you add first, at 45 or minus 140?
That's the answer.
Negative 140.
Yep. First you had to find g of 3, and that output became your input over here. Yeah, we haven't seen anything like that. So that's new. I would assume you're going to see it again.